Hello and welcome to Waterton Canyon in Littleton, Colorado. This trailhead is the official starting point for the Colorado Trail, so long as you're going east to west. And if all goes well, you'll finish your hike somewhere in Durango, Colorado. Our hike, however, is not a through hike because we have jobs, kids, dogs, and chickens. So we've set aside 2 days to do the 18-mile hike from Waterton Canyon Trailhead to Sedalia, Colorado. This is my wife, Megan. She's all the things that a good husband thinks a good wife is, and she's a badass who loves to hike. And bathrooms. She loves a clean bathroom. There's literally one about every mile for the first 6 miles. I have to admit, the first part of this hike looked a lot like a nice baseball field in a good part of town. But it became clear that there's going to be some obstacles and snakes. So when you hear Colorado Trail, you think through hiking, you think wilderness, you think ruggedness. And then you find yourself on a dirt road that's well maintained and large enough for 2 cars to get by easily. It's not exactly what I was expecting, but a nice, big, long on-ramp to segment hiking the Colorado Trail. And if you use your imagination, you can find some cool things along the way, including this large Groot head. After a few miles of looking for faces and rocks, which is cool, this is probably the coolest thing you're going to see before you get off this long dirt road and get onto a single track. This is the spillway, I believe, not an actual dam. That's up a little bit further, but this is an impressive amount of water and it's really cool to just sit and watch for a minute. And just a little bit further up the canyon from there is the source of all that water.
Whoa.
And this is the most gnarly looking paper mache you're ever going to see, and there's evil in there. Inside that upside down Nightmare Before Christmas hat is a bunch of angry wasps. Imagine having to explain to your douchiest friend how it is you dropped your camera over a bridge and into a river. He's like, wait, tell me again how you dropped your camera off a bridge? And you're like, dude, there was wasps making a nest on the side of a cliff, and it got me. And he's like, don't cameras come with big neck straps? And you're like, hey, I hate those big neck straps, okay? He's like, well, you should definitely look into a finger strap. And unfortunately, your douchey friend is right. Because if you had the relic finger strap on your finger, you wouldn't drop that camera. You'd be getting this shot right now. Just search for a relic design on Etsy. You'll find it. So as you make your transition from that big dirt road to the single track, there's going to be a couple fall stops on the way. You're going to see 2 or 3 signs before you're actually on that single track.
It is just right there though, isn't it?
So while most of this was shot on an iPhone, there's just no argument that a DSLR is going to give you better pictures. And to try to make that easier to use, we decided to invest in the capture clip. It's a really good design and it costs a lot of money, but it's going to give you the peace of mind of knowing that your camera isn't going to fall off of your shoulder. And it allows you to use poles, which is pretty handy when you're carrying a big heavy bag. Behold the capture clip in action. You can hear it unclip it, click it, and remount it. Easy peasy mac and cheesy. Might even be worth 75 bucks.
Probably more now. Still don't see a river, dude. That is right down there.
So as a reminder, we had no idea how long this was going to take or how hard it was going to be, and we had booked 2 nights to do this trip. We found ourselves at our first campsite option at about 8.9 miles, well before noon. Whether we stayed or not, we knew we had a place to refill our water and cook some food. Also, this was the first time that we'd ever used the gravity bag from Livestraw, and I'm a dork. I was excited. In a stream like this, it's pretty simple. You just put the bag in, pull it forward a little bit, and you got more water than you need. We ended up filling the bag a couple of different times to cook and also to load up for the long trip up the mountain and then back down where there were no verified water sources. Up until this trip, we'd been carrying a pump that would pump the water out and then into a bottle of some sort. And while it was cool, we really thought this would be a better option because we'd be able to get it, hang it at the campsite while we're doing other things and let it filter, and then use it right away. And so far, so good. A few things you need to know though. You have to backfill this thing about twice a day according to their instructions, otherwise you get a little bit of a slow flow rate, and that can be annoying. And now, camp cooking with Cam. So we took this food thing pretty serious and we're gluten-free, which means that MRE you see right there is a gluten-free MRE. After a long day of hiking, anything is good except for scrambled eggs. Just avoid the scrambled eggs altogether. Chicken fajita, chicken fried rice, all those, very good. A cheap lightweight plastic bottle is a great place to drop a little bit of element for your electrolytes. And if you're all into a hot beverage here and there, we really like the mushroom coffee from Four Sigmatic. With feet soaked, food and belly, and water ready to go, we're totally not staying here tonight. This is too exciting. We're back on the trail. There's really not designated camping spots up here, but you find places where you can camp and where people have camped just about everywhere. But we're not staying here. At this point, we're near the top of the mountain, and we know that we can be down well before sundown. So we decide maybe it's time to call ahead so we don't have to wait a day and a half at the trailhead to get a pickup. This is where the ability to communicate with somebody comes in really handy, and you can't always count on your cell connection. So, on the list of things we might look at buying is a Garmin that will allow us to use InReach to then reach out to people and say, hey, can you pick us up a little early? We'd buy you dinner.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say that the excitement got the best of both of us. We're really excited about this. We wish we could do a through hike, but we can't. Still, segment hiking, super cool. We're way ahead of schedule, and we camped about a half mile out of the next trailhead. So we called it a day and made some food. Oh, note the flip-flops. I hate flip-flops, but I love flip-flops when I've been in hiking boots all day and I'm at camp just trying to relax, or when you have to get up to pee in the middle of the night, which we explored about 29 times.
Yeah.
It just doesn't matter how good your gear is, you're not going to sleep that well. We were tossing and turning all night, waiting for the sun to get up so that we could get started on our half-mile hike to the trailhead.
You're good?
I spent the majority of that time trying to figure out exactly what it is that I've learned from this trip. Of course, we do things way faster than we think we do. We don't really stop, we have no chill. There's no way my wife isn't going to want to go look at segment 2, or wait for that one. I think my biggest takeaway is that my bag is everything. It's where all the weight is, it's what's weighing me down, and it's going to have everything to do with how well I sleep and how enjoyable this hike is. And the bag that I have, no good. My shoulders felt like they were going to fall off. And I think it's fair to say that you do get what you pay for. This is an $80 bag that I got from Army Surplus, and my wife's wearing a $200 bag that she got at a garage sale at REI. While the gravity bag was awesome and the camera clip was good, I have to say the biggest win of this one was a $25 shirt that I got off of Amazon. It's a lightweight, white-colored, UV-resistant, breathable fabric that you can put over your head and your face like a ninja. It keeps the sun off of you, the bugs off of you, yet it's light enough to let some air through.
Let me grab my bag to go 10 minutes in, 10 minutes back. That make you happy? I mean, I won't make her wait. Give me a second.
Honestly, if we could have changed our plans at that point, we would have. She was ready to hike segment 2 that day. We ended up skipping segment 2 and moving on to 3 and 4 because it's a burn zone and it was going to be crazy hot and then crazy rainy that day, but we will double back and get it one of these days. Until then, here's a sneak peek at the first half mile or so.